I've got to talk to you privately.
Meet me under the table.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Ryan O'Neal, the heartthrob actor whose trajectory took him from the dazzling world of TV soap operas to an Oscar-nominated performance in the timeless classic love story with his charismatic 9-year-old daughter in the enchanting Paper Moon. Behind the glitz and glamour lies a tale of unexpected twists and turns. Ryan O'Neal, born on April 20, 1941 in Los Angeles, was the eldest son of actress Patricia Ruth Olga and novelist Charles O'Neal. His father was of Irish and English descent, while his mother was of paternal Irish and maternal Jewish ancestry. His brother Kevin was an actor and screenwriter. O'Neal attended University High School in Los Angeles and trained to become a Golden Gloves boxer. His family moved to Munich during the late 1950s, where O'Neal attended Munich American High School. Later, he made a name for himself as a clean-cut leading man in films like Love Story, Barry Lyndon, and What's Up, Doc? Ryan W., who became an instant movie star in the hit film Love Story, the highest-grossing movie of 1970, but who was later known as much for the troubles of his personal life as for his acting in his later career, was 29 years old at the time and had spent a decade on television, but had made only 2 other movies when he was chosen to star in Arthur Hiller's sentimental romance, written by Eric Siegel, who turned his screenplay into a best-selling novel. Mr. O'Neal's performance in Love Story as Oliver Barrett, IV, a wealthy, golden-haired Harvard hockey player married to a dying woman played by Ailey McGraw, garnered him the only Academy Award nomination of his career. His love life had its ups and downs. Twice divorced, O'Neal fathered actors Griffin O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal, his co-star in the 1973 movie Paper Moon, for which she won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress with his first wife, Joanna Moore. He had son Patrick with his second wife, Lee Taylor Young. O'Neal was later romantically involved with Farrah Fawcett for nearly 30 years, and they had a son, Redmond, born in 1985. The couple split in 1997, but reunited a few years later. He remained by Fawcett's side as she battled cancer, which killed her in 2009 at age 62. Reflecting on his early marriages, Ryan admitted, "I got married at 21, and I was not a real mature 21. He ended up taking care of their kids." Had at times strained relationships with 3 of his children, including estrangement from his daughter, squabbles with son Griffin, and a drug-related arrest sparked by a probation check of his son Redmond. Family would go on to have many more problems with the law, with drugs, and with one another. Mr. O'Neal, who was well known in Hollywood for his temper. When he was 18, he spent 51 days in jail for a brawl at a New Year's Eve party. He was charged with assaulting his son Griffin in 2007. Those charges were dropped, but a year later, he and Redmond O'Neal, his son with the actress Farrah Fawcett, were arrested on a drug charge. He pleaded guilty and was ordered to undergo counseling, while Redmond entered rehabilitation but continued to struggle with addiction. Tatum O'Neal had her own highly publicized drug problems and was estranged for many years from her father, who she said physically abused her when she was a child. Mr. O'Neal's fame was beginning to slip by 1978, when Paramount offered him $3 million to star in Oliver's Story, a sequel to Love Story. He accepted, even though his distaste for the project was clear. His days as an A-list star were soon over, although he continued to work steadily in the 1980s and 90s. His more memorable movies in this period included Partners, in which he played a heterosexual police detective who goes undercover with a gay partner, played by John Hurt. Irreconcilable Differences, as a successful Hollywood director whose 10-year-old daughter, played by Drew Barrymore, sues him for divorce. and Tough Guys Don't Dance. A crime drama written and directed by Norman Mailer. He also co-starred with Mrs. Fawcett in the short-lived 1991 television series Good Sports. Most of Mr. O'Neill's later work was on television, including a recurring role on the series Bones. O'Neill began accepting more supporting roles with the 1989 film Chances Are. He began a second career as a character actor playing a husband who hires a hitman to kill his wife in Faithful, and a mysterious tycoon in the blackmail comedy Zero Effect. Then his relationship with Fawcett had ended, although they remained close and eventually rekindled their romance in the 2000s. The volatile O'Neill family dynamics that had taxed their relationship before, however, remained. His major role Mr. O'Neill played was himself. In the summer of 2011, he and his daughter starred in a reality show, Ryan and Tatum, The O'Neills, on Oprah Winfrey's cable channel OWN. The series left the impression that the two had ended their long estrangement, but Mr. O'Neill later told an interviewer that it painted a false picture. In 2012, Ryan revealed his battle with prostate cancer, coming 11 years after chronic myelogenous leukemia, which eventually went into remission. Ryan O'Neill's heartthrob status dimmed over the years, eclipsed by a chaotic personal life, including a high-profile relationship with Farrah Fawcett, accusations of drug use and physical abuse, and ultimately estrangement from many loved ones. In his later years, he acknowledged his shortcomings as a father, saying,
and confident. It's heartbreaking.
"I'm a hopeless father. I don't know why. I don't think I was supposed to be a father." Despite the challenges, he left a lasting mark on both big and small screens.